Janet, part 6.
The tagline on CTA is you never truly know people until you take time out to get to know people. I've seen Pastor Janet for all the last 15 years on and off. Me seeing you, not you seeing me.
I've been seeing you. Singing and all.
From when I was carrying 1 GB all the way to 2 GBs with kids now.
Yeah, I tell you.
And I say that because in this room, we have Wamai, who was one of the first interns at Mavuno. We have Aizo, who was serving at Chapel.
Yes.
We have myself, who was at Mavuno Church and then even Chapel. I didn't understand what pivotal role you played in opening up doors for us. You're the one who has gone with the, what's the Swahili word for it? It doesn't sound nice in English. Yeah, with the slasher. Okay, let me call it a slasher.
Yeah.
And cleared the path for all of us to come after. We are so grateful to you. We honor you. And I'm so glad that I just didn't introduce you as Pastor Janet, because I don't think that even holds the weight of all the other different things. I've stopped introducing people on CTA by their titles. And I really like when you talked about titles. And as they share their life journey, people can then deduce who they are and what role that they have played. So thank you so much for what you've done for the Kenyan church and continue to do. So I want to hear this story. Now you have joined Nairobi Chapel. You've also gone to school. When you go to school, are you still working at Chapel? Do you come on Sunday or do you just come as a congregant?
I come in on Sunday, but you're allowed, at that time, you're basically allowed to be a student. So I come in, if I want to come in as a congregant, if there are things I want to be involved in, that's fine. But no, you are given 100% freedom to be a student.
And these guys have sent you for 3 years with the intention that you come back.
Yes.
So that even takes some level of trust from you.
So we had to sign a scholarship agreement. We agreed because we said at the beginning, those of us who started, we knew by just a commitment, I'm coming back, whether I sign or not. I've given you my word, that's my word. But then we knew that as the church continues to grow and you have more people, there may be those who you invest in and they don't want to come back, and again, you can't start tussling with them.
Yes.
So we came up with a scholarship agreement document where we say once you have been given that support, that you'll give your first, I don't know how many it is now, but for us it was, I'll give my first 3 years to serve Nairobi Chapel.
Yeah.
And after that, if I wanted to transition out, then I can transition out. But then for me again, when I came back, it was very clear God had called me. So I came back as a youth pastor. And again, it was
What year is this?
Graduated in 2000. I graduated in 1999. Then my husband and I had decided we were going to tag team in terms of school. We didn't want to be in school at the same time. And Tim wanted to do an MBA, and he knew he wanted to do it in South Africa. It had always been his goal. So when I was doing my final semester, Tim went to the Graduate School of Business, Cape Town. And so for 2 terms, I think, when I was here, Tim was there. And let me throw this one here. I remember when he went, the idea was he'd come back for my graduation. But after being apart from a 1 term, I thought, I really miss my husband. I want to go. I didn't have money. And this time, Pastor M is still there. Pastor M and I were always, and Carol, were always together because we're doing ministry together. And I told them, I really want to go and sit. So we started praying that God would help me get money to go to Cape Town. So I praying, started saving some money, raising some money, doing little things. And then one day, Pastor M comes and tells me, I think we are praying the wrong thing. I said, what do you mean? Is it money you want, or is it a ticket to Cape Town? Ooh. He says, let's change this prayer. I think, let's be specific.
Yes.
So we started praying specifically about a ticket to Cape Town. One Sunday, I'm done ministry, I'm tired, I'm sitting outside. There were some benches, and I was really tired, just waiting for everybody to go so I can go home. My auntie's friend, her name is Mercy. Mercy never really used to come to chapel. She just happened to be around and she saw me, so she came and said, "Oh, hi, you look so down and beaten." And then she asked, "What is it? What is one thing that God would do for you that would make you smile and laugh?" I said, "I wish I had a return ticket to Cape Town." And she gasped, "Why did you say that?" I said, "That's what I've been praying for." She sat down and told me, "This is strange." I said, "Why?" She says, I started tour company and I won 2 return tickets to Cape Town.
What?
She had 2 kids and they could not agree who would accompany her. The tickets were going to expire. She had been trying to sell it. She couldn't sell it. So she's sitting there and telling me. So I said, then she says, "How much money do you have?" I was little. And so she looks disturbed and says, "But I think this is your ticket." Because how is it on a week when I was just thinking I need to give or do. She told me, "Okay, you give me your number, give me your phone, your names as they are in your passport. Let me see what I can do, but I think this is your ticket." And then on Monday morning, I get a call and she says, "I'm issuing the ticket to you." And I said, "But I don't have the." I said, "No, just the money you told me you'll have will be enough. I'll send you my bank details." So I come and tell Mureithi, "We got the ticket." And it's one of the first flights KQ was flying direct to Cape Town. And it was a return ticket. So I tell Mureithi, and then I call Tim, my husband in Cape Town, and I tell him, he says, there's a hitch. The college, because he was staying in the college, had said I could stay with him. And because he was staying in a double room and didn't have a roommate, they had said I could stay with him and we didn't need to pay. But they hadn't factored out the food because the restaurant, very upmarket restaurant, was being run by a private person. And so they said, "No, we need to pay for meals." So Tim had done the calculation and said, "Oh my goodness, we need the money for meals." So I sit down.
Is it money we need or the meals?
So I sit down again with my friend, Pastor Mureithi, and I tell him, "Now there's a problem." He tells me, "Let's ask Mercy to discount." I'm like, "What? It's already so low." And then he told me, "Janet, the worst she will say is no."
Wow.
And when she says no, we still have the tickets. It's in your name. We still have it. But what is the chance if she said yes? So he picks the phone to the landline. Mureithi calls Mercy. Tells me, "Talk." So I tell Mercy, "There's a problem." "What's the problem?" So I explain. She says, "Janet, this is your ticket. You do this, knock off that amount, and then knock off," I don't remember how much she told me, because you can't go out of the country and not shop for something. "Knock off this, whatever is remaining. I have a little, put it in my account." The day of that flight, who tells you, I came from Karen. The flight was at 3. Me, I was at the airport to do 11. I was not missing this flight. So the lady,
you are boarding.
I was boarding. So the lady at the counter, she kept asking me, "Hey, this thing." So by the time now it was time to call, she called me even earlier. I think had sat. Yeah. So she told me, "I just looked at you and I decided I'm bumping you to business."
Oh.
My one and only time when I've flown business. So I was looking at the guys around me. I was thinking, if you knew how much I paid for this ticket, there will be a riot here. They'll be told, "Economy, move back." Yeah. Oh, so again, it was one of those things that
Cape Town must have been amazing. Seeing your husband at all that time.
That was great. And so steps of faith. And I mean, after that, we went on to, when I finished, he came for my graduation. Then I went now to Cape Town, because now I needed to be there with him for a year.
Yeah.
And we had decided at that point, Chapo, we had decided if Tim gets a job, they would allow us to stay for 2 years and come back. But we said we are not going to push it. If he doesn't get a job there, we'll come back. So when we were there, and we were poor students, we had used all our savings for everything, for both of us studying. Initially, Tim was supposed to go and work.
You're not in Rondenbosch?
We were in Cape Town, nice place, but we had paid everything, the years, rent, everything. The initial plan was, Tim used to work for Vivo Shell then Shell BP. So they were supposed to transfer him. Then last minute, there was a reorganization in Shell. And so the Southern Hub couldn't now get people. I don't know, something that happened. But again, it is something we had planned, and we felt, let's just take a step of faith, let's just go. So that's why we didn't have the monies we had been expecting to have his salary and everything. But again, it's in that space. I always say, well, some of our best times in our family was when we had very little. You are here in Cape Town, and you are students, you are foreigners. We didn't have a car. We only had our apartment. I remember we used to, even in the winter, would switch off things, and we were so cold, only later to find that our bills are still high. We had Kumbe, the whole apartment unit, they get the bills and divide by 6. We were very upset. But I remember in SA one time, Tim was going to have a break, and we didn't have a car. We had never seen any of these places people talk about, Rhode Island. I thought, God, I'd like to just see something. I was now a housewife. I just want to see something. And we were at the place of rice and beans a lot. Remember one time we came around and the debonaires had not come to Kenya. And there was something on burgers, and I think it was Steers also had some buy one, get one free. See, we bought 2 burgers, froze the other 2 for another day, another date night.
Wow.
When we'd shop, all our trolley would be, it was called no name. So in South Africa, they would have, if it's washing powder, there's something in a white box, so it doesn't have a brand name, so it's cheaper.
Yep.
So by the time you come to the counter, the whole trolley is white. People know these guys. It's not working very well for them. But I remember 2 things in our time then, how God just, and for me, one of the principles I live by in this is, it's not about your money. God can do things even without money in your bank. If you trust God and ask. 2 things I remember when we were there, and God's provision just was amazing. One time, Tim is doing his exams and he had a week off, and I told God, I wish we could just get a car and travel, but we don't have a car. So I'm mangering around, and I meet one of his classmates who was a Christian. And she asked me, what are your plans do you guys have for the week off? Tim is going to be off. I said, oh, we can't do much, Then she says, by the way, do you guys drive? We said, yes. She says, my brother is going to New York, and he's left me with his car. Would you guys like a car? And I'll even fuel it.
What?
Hey, see, we did everything. Everywhere we went. And she told us, and if you need to fuel, tell me. I'll make sure when you come back, I fuel again. And we saw God providing. But here is a goosebump one. So one time I meet a Kenyan friend. He was an undergrad student, and he had no money. He was struggling, and he had been a chapelite when he was in Kenya. And we were also going through a financial dip. And so when I had done our budget plus what our friend needed, I put that figure just in my mind, and I tell God, if you only can send us this money, then I'll be able to help so and so, and us guys will be okay. And it's a figure I had in my mind for a while. So during the weekends in South Africa, they have something they call a flea market, like our Maasai market. So I used to like walking across our street, and I'd go, because you'd find Kenyans, you'd find people, and Tim would be studying. So this time I go across, and as I'm there, I'm thinking and I'm praying, I'm telling God, hey, we really need money. Next week, things are thick. It was a Sunday. And then I just said, God, if you wanted, you can even throw me money from the sky. You can throw money from the sky and it will land here. Because you say you're able to do everything. And I just prayed that. I went through my business. As I'm coming back, I needed to cross the road to our apartment. I hear this voice, look down. And I look, and there's an envelope with a word of notes, South African rand. Then I thought, this is those things people do in Kenya. When you pick it and then they come around and they come, I said, no. Then it's a bus stop. There are people selling dry meat, what? It's a bus stop, busy. Nobody's looking. And it's not at the envelope, how people step on a canote, no. So I pick it. Then I sit at the bus stop thinking somebody is going to come here. Then I look around, I stay for a long time, then I go to one of the guys doing his meat. Then I tell him, and I show him, I found this money on the ground. And you can imagine, this guy is a street vendor.
Yeah.
He looks, he says, so I said, has anybody said they've lost? He looks, says, no interest.
What?
Looks at the word of notes, no interest. So I sit. I wait. Then I tell him, I need to go home and I live across on those flats. I'll come back. If anybody asks, this is the phone number that we use. I go home, I tell him, look at, then we count. To the shilling of what I had written.
No way.
So I come back after 30 minutes. I ask the guy, did you find? No. I go home a second time. Then I come back. Then the guy, almost very impatient, says, Sisi, which means sister. Sisi, maybe that's your money. Maybe God threw it for you from the sky. You know, the exact same words I had prayed about.
Yeah.
And then it's exact amount we needed between us and our Kenyan friend. So I went home and asked, so I tell him the story. I said, let's wait for 3 days and see if somebody will come. And I remember I'd given this guy my number.
Yes.
And I imagine this guy maybe needed the money, not even bothered. A lot of money. So me, I said, okay, God, after day 3, when Jesus resurrected, and nobody has come, called our Kenyan friend, you are sorted. Come get your money. To the shilling what we needed. That season, when we came back, was amazing.
Just hold on. God. I don't mind 1,000,000 shillings today.
But when we came back 2000, we knew the door had not opened for Tim, so we came back. We came back ground zero. We didn't have a home. We didn't have any savings.
What year did you come back?
2000.
Oh, 2000.
And yeah, almost end of 2000. We didn't even know where we were going to spend the night. But in our last meeting with a Christian group, they said, God is saying, it will be well. We didn't know we were coming when we land. We land at the airport. My parents-in-law, Tim's parents, mom says, me, I know you people are always hooked up, you are sorted, you are friends, but we've missed you so much. We've prepared a place, please come and stay with us for at least 2 weeks, we catch up. We looked at each other and said, if you only knew. We didn't know where we are coming to stay. We don't know where we are coming to stay. Then we stayed with them for about, I think this, mom, after 2 weeks, mom was like, no, don't be in a rush. We had moved our things to Shags. We'll get the things stay. So we stayed a month. And then during that time, one of our uncles comes by. Where are you guys? And we'd been looking, we were going to stay in an SQ. Because we didn't have money. We had basically used our savings. And a relative comes and says, you know, what's going on with your lives? And we tell him. And then we had come from SA. So anytime we'd go house hunting, hey, would be looking for nice apartments. The standard we had seen. But the pocket is not cooperating. So we come one afternoon and we meet this Rela and he says, where are you? And we look deflated. We said, oh, we went to look at apartments and they're so expensive. Then he says, oh, I have a proposal. That's the word he says. I think I have a proposal for you. I have a few houses and there's one house where it's rented to a pilot who's stuck in Angola. It's paid up for the year and the pilot doesn't want his house empty. It's on Riara Road. And he's been asking me, can I get somebody to stay there? And what he'll do is basically locking his private things in his master bedroom, but you can use anything else.
What?
We went to see that house. We stayed there. Free.
Fully furnished.
Fully furnished.
Pilot life.
All we needed to is just buy our food.
Yes.
Then the gentleman, after a while, I think he decided while he was still out, got another job out of the country while we were still in the house. So told the landlord he's not coming back, but he doesn't want the rent back. And he's going to bring movers to ship his things. That's the time I just moved back to Chapo as a youth pastor. And once in a while, and it's a beautiful, we still stay in that house to date.
What?
It has a big compound, so we'd bring all my youth things, events, I'm sure Amaya's been there. So the landlord would get to know what we do. And he told me, you know, you're using this property very well. You're keeping it well, you painted it, and it's being used for ministry. Why don't you guys continue staying there? Then we told him, but you know, we can't afford it. Us now, we are thinking of golf course rent around, that's a max. Said, how much is that? He said, that's fine, just put it. Just use the house for ministry and take care of my house. So now here people are looking at us, living in a whole compound.
What?
And thinking, these people, it's boom times 7. not, and not knowing what God had done.
No way.
Then, around that same time, remember we are still not together. So Tim went out of the country to the US. Some friends told him, you come, see if you can get a job. He was not getting a job here. Overqualified. So he goes to the US for about 3 months. During that time, we have a medical crisis. We don't have medical insurance. We don't have anything. And I thought, when we were having money, when Tim and I were both working and Tim was at Shell, there are friends in our community that we had helped. We used to help a lot. And Tim has a group of guys. He's been in the same Bible study with them since his ex-con days from 6 to date. So I thought, this one is a surgeon, another guy is an IT guy. Me, I'm sorted. The money I need between these two people, I'm sorted.
I'm good.
I didn't even pray about it. I didn't even sweat it. Tim is out, so I told him, don't worry, I'll fix this. I got this. So I go to friend number 1. He laughed at how much? In fact, if you find it, give me some. I have nothing. I'm like, what? So we laughed. He's a very hilarious friend. Then I thought, don't worry. My friend, the surgeon, he can do this thing, even double. So I go and ask him. Very, very wise man. He says, let me talk to my wife first. He didn't say no, he just said, let me talk to my wife. Later he came and told me, we are sorry we can't help. Now much later is when he explained they prayed about it and God didn't give them an okay. But me, initially I just knew he said no. I was upset. And I remember I came home. I was feeling very upset. I walked into my house at 5 and I thought I just want to sleep. What kind of friends do I have? Now when I need them. And then another moment in my life, it's like God was waiting for me. I actually remember it visibly. It's like God was waiting for me at the base of my stairs. And as I'm rushing up with my mad ranting, I had God ask me, did I send you there?
Yeah.
Very clear. And I stopped. And I thought, I didn't pray about it. God didn't tell me to go to it. I just knew. I have people. Yeah. I didn't even think I'm bothering. I just didn't. And remember, I was going for a loan. So I go to my room. I'm shaken. I bow on my knees and tell God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't even ask you what I should do. But God, we're in trouble. You and me are in trouble and we need help with this situation. So I wrote the amount. I said, God, this is what I need. That night I slept like a baby. I didn't have the money. I slept well. No anxiety. The anger had left. Pastor M was coming back from the US, from his studies. So it was a big thing for us that next week. We're going to the airport to meet them. So we had all planned what time. And so I'm excited. So I'm still praying about my need. And as I'm rushing from my office, it was in the basement, I meet somebody coming to my office. And I said, oh, it's good I caught you. There's something. And they were holding 2 envelopes. There's something I needed to do for you and Pastor Luke. And I'd not even met this person for a while. They didn't know what my need was. And they said, can I see you? I said, oh, we are rushing to the airport. I said, it's only just be a few minutes. I would have put this thing in your pigeonhole or on your desk, but you wouldn't understand. So we come down the office, he gets Luke, and he says, these are 2 envelopes. One is in your name. In fact, I was supposed to have come here a week ago.
Wow.
And he says their father gave them an inheritance early. And one of the things he got was a house that his father allowed him to sell. So they had sold their house, and as a family, they had tithed what they needed to tithe, but they also had decided what amount they would keep for themselves. But there was an amount they felt they wanted to bless some friends or people in need, and they'd been praying, and they said God put them in their hearts. And at that point, the most anybody had ever gifted me, family, friend, and foe, was 5,000. So me, I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's given me 10K. And this time I'm needing hundreds of thousands. So I'm running out. Then I had Luke gasped. Luke opened his envelope as I was there, but me, I said, thank you, and I was running out. I had Luke gasp. So I stopped on the steps, and I thought, hey, what did he get? So I opened my envelope, and true to God, the exact amount we needed for that medical crisis was in a check.
Oh.
So I stopped, I'm crying, I go back, and I'm saying, thank you. I'm telling you, not even thank you, it's God first, thank you. Then I told him the what was going on, and he says, you know, actually, God put this in our hearts last week or 2 weeks, but I just wasn't able to come. This was even before I went asking. God already knew what I needed, and me, I'm here with my plan B. And then remember, my plan B was a loan. And I didn't have money. So maybe it would even have messed up our relationship. But when God checked in, it was cash. No. And I remember going to that airport with that envelope. I kept thinking I'm imagining. So even when Pastor M came down, I pulled him aside and said, "Go read this." Because he didn't know the story.
Yeah.
What does this check say? So he reads, says it's in your name. How much? And the date? I said, what's the problem? I remember when going to the bank, I was thinking,
It's good about
he went through. So it was I think for us, that season was just amazing. And for me till now, nothing stops me. I don't stop or I don't take a step of faith to do something because of money. Even fast forward to after my MDiv, I've done 2 other degrees. I didn't have money. One was hundreds, others my post doctoral studies were millions of shillings. But we didn't have money. But God said, me and you, God, the way you've done it before, you'll check in. Of course, you get once in a while, you are like, what am I doing? What am I doing? But God checks in. And if I can just put that together, that became a principle that I lived by. It's not my salary. If you want God to operate from your salary, He can. Your salary is only part of God's provision for you. If it's travel, God can do it without your salary. If it is even building a home, God can help you. It's nothing to do with your salary. It's just trusting God and taking, not being foolish, but trusting. And if God says do it, it's up to Him how He'll provide for that. When I was transitioning out of chapel, I felt I'd studied as a theologian, but I felt there's something theological school doesn't do. When you come to a church, and especially in the early days, you come in, there's no HR manager. So one of us becomes HR manager. And you have no training. You come in, and the most would get was maybe the accountant. But you have to do projects. You have to do all these things. And I kept feeling there's something was not planted in us. So when I did my 3rd degree at USIU, I had no money, not even a shilling. There was something, again, it was after I left chapel. And it was something that, again, I felt God saying, in fact, that one God told me, apply. You will go to school, you will have no debt. In fact, they'll have your change. And sure enough, when I finished, I went back to USIU. I said, my account, you have 32 bob change. Keep change. I told them, keep change. Then I went out and told God, I should have been 32,000. And we had a laugh moment out there. When I went to do my doctoral studies, again, it wasn't that I was not planning to do it. Again, it was God saying, I want you to do this. It was in the US, millions of shillings. So I come home and I tell my husband, I go look at this school and look at. So Tim looks and says, me, I don't know about you. You've just answered a question. Me, I'm going to this school. I'm doing my doctor. He saw it and he saw it. He even applied before me. He was taken before me. Me, I'm thinking. So by the time I'm applying and I get in, so we're in the same class for about 3 years.
What?
First, we got in is when now we looked at the fee structure, and then with times 2, we said, what did we just do? Then I meet Tim Wangi, the one at AILU, the same friend I told you about. Tim went to Regent University and did his PhD there. So several people told her, why don't you meet some other people who've been at Regent and see Kenyans and how did they do it? just even work, discipline. Then Tim mentioned, by the way, when I was in Regent, they used to have a scholarship for students in sub-Saharan Africa. Have you go check? Nobody will tell you, just check. So we go into the system, we check, and sure enough, it still exists.
Wow.
So we apply, and we get 50% for each of us. So we always say one of us went to school for free.
But you still have the other one to pay for.
We still have the other one to pay for. The first 1-2 semesters, we keep getting locked out on this, and then God shows up. Somebody who orders money, and I always tell people, if somebody has your money, actually don't stress.
It will come in time.
Keep praying and tell God, make that something I'll need on a rainy. Don't stress them, don't fight them. Just tell God, when I need it. Somebody who had owed us money for a while, and it had initially been stressful and we had walked away, decides to pay. So we pay that. Then somebody through New Life, which is an organization that I'm in now,
which we'll talk about extensively.
Which we'll talk about, yes, says, we've always wanted to support the leaders. Anybody wants to train. So they lend me $1 million. Not in my name, I write it to the school. I don't even want it to touch my account. And things started going on. Pastor Oscar tells me, it's a Christian school. I will find out if they have something called a church match grant, where if your church gives you money, they match it. Then Bishop tells me, actually, there's some money here we had put. So we're not going to give it to you in a lump sum. We'll give it to you every term. That way they match every term. So by the time we finished, I still don't know how that. So for me, coming from 2000 and seeing how God has provided, that became, we don't stress too much. Because I ask, have I really prayed about it? Have I asked God? The same way your kids ask, and they'll tell you, Daddy, we need this. It's in your head, you're walking around with it. And if it's something that is good and not harmful, you are doing everything to provide. How much more our God? So for me, and I guess from that pawpaw tree, remember when I was talking about how the birds were eating, and God had said, I'll provide. I learned from an early age. Ask God. Yes, sometimes I forget I'm stressing, especially when it comes to my work now. I sometimes you stress, but I've learned God is able to provide. And don't limit what you want to do because of what's in the bank account. God will provide. And it's not Christiani, it's not just saying that in a spiritual way.
Yes.
Me, I've seen that. Even to silly things. There are times when things are low and I'm like, hey God, I would love a nice perfume. And then I learned, don't hint at people. Don't come, you know how you can hint? Me, I don't do those. I just say, God, I just need something. Out of the blue, whether it's my mom or somebody, hey, I've sent you a perfume. I saw something on sale and I said, I've seen that over and over and over again. So when it comes to provision, sometimes you are like a duck, out it looks serene, maybe you are waddling, but God reminds you, you will swim through this one. Yeah, so that's more my life between 2000 and coming and just what God did for us in that season.
Hey, there's a lot of travel.
Yeah.
So you were not in Kenya during the transition when it moved from Mamlaka to all the different churches?
No, I was there. That was before. That was much later.
Oh, that's much later?
Yeah, that 2007 or something.
You're the one who probably tell me best.
Yeah, so anyway, if I can back up now. So we...
First of all, let me say thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah. The reason I'm not normally quiet, but the reason that I am very quiet is because that is speaking a lot to me. I live my life like that, where you obey despite the reality, and you walk and live despite the reality. It looks crazy to a lot of people. It looks stupid to another bunch of people. But you've spoken, and that one has resonated with me in ways that you don't even understand. And it's good to know that there are people who wake up every day and live like that. And may God continue to give you the faith to live like that.
Yeah. And it's not just big things, during that space, when I was in USIU again, it's when I'd stepped out of chapel, so I was not with a salary. And by the second year of my sabbatical, and then team's business was not doing well. Sometimes God sets you up so that you need him.
Yes.
I can never say I went to school because I afforded it, all through. And I remember during that time, things were so, I love eggs. Me, I can eat 2 eggs every day. Since I was a child, if I'm allowed, I can even eat 3 or 4 eggs. And I remember during that time, we were really low. And I hadn't eaten an egg, I think, for a month or 2. And one day I'm standing in my kitchen, and our athlete, what we had in terms of all our funds, not that in the bank account,
yes.
everything combined, we had about, I think, 45 bob. So we stood with my husband, we laughed, but we were living in this nice house, remember?
Yes.
But things were not just adding up, we laughed. And then we said, let's see what God will do. So the next morning I wake up and I really wish I could eat just an omelette. I stood at my kitchen, I said, God, I missed eggs. If only I could just eat eggs. Then I remember the 45 bob. Then I think my husband needed the car back and forth. And we have a thing with our friends. We used to say, hey, at least ukue na pesa ya puncture. Have a little money in case you have a puncture. Don't go borrow money for a puncture. So I thought, hey, that 45 bob can come in handy. So I'm sitting in my house.
That's funny.
Same day, I'm sitting in my house. A friend of mine, Mrs. Mungai, calls me. Where are you? I'm at home. She says, I'm coming in, but I don't even make anything. I'm just dropping something. She comes in frazzled. She says, I was in the supermarket and I felt God was telling me to buy you some things. But now these things who buys things like this? She had toilet paper. She had serviettes, a tray of eggs. You know how you go to somebody, you buy milk, you buy sukari. So she was like, what kind of shopping? Everything she brought. We were running out, and my tray of eggs. So I tell her, Ebu, sit down. I have a story. Before I even start telling her the story, we have a foster son that we brought up as an adult. And of course, he had stayed with us. He knew the situation. I don't know where he had gone. Somebody gave him some money. He meets somebody, he buys a tray of eggs. So he walks in and says, hey, Mom. Oh, this guy, oh, hello, you. He says, come. He says, me, I know how you like eggs and we've not had money. I've just bought you a tray of eggs. Tray number 2. So I'm there with him in the kitchen. Kidogo, somebody, the bell at the gate. Somebody has been sent from, I think, my mother-in-law's or something. I have come. I was told to bring you a tray of 3 trays of eggs. Remember, Mrs. Mungai is still sitting there. I've not even told her the story. She's still waiting for me. So she tells me, I need to go. What is it? Then I tell her, you will not believe what happened. This morning, I told God, I would love to eat eggs. Then you came with 1. Henry has brought a 2nd. Then this 3rd one. Then she told me, tell him it's enough. They'll still come. They'll keep coming the whole day. That even, I told people, cook any. You want omelette, what? Hey, I want to visit some friends. I told, I'm bringing half a tray of eggs here, you know. So I learned, we always say the God of eggs, the God of scholarships.
Oh.
Anything. It's not too small to ask God. And this is not me being a pastor.
Yes.
This is just me being a child of God.
Life.
My father,
yes.
Whether it is eggs, me, I've seen God provide. Whether it's like a bottle of perfume where I'm feeling, hey, I need something and I'm stretched here. Whether it is seeing God provide for us scholarship worth millions, me, I've seen it. And so for me, I just know without a doubt, God provides. God provides, and there's nothing that is too big, there's nothing that is too small for him. Yeah.
Wow. That's a nice place to take a break. Apple. Perfect.
And I try to do that, to put all that together for South Africa and everything combined. So I'll go back now.
Okay.
So this will be like part 7. So I'll go back to part 6.
Sawa.
I'm like, mlijua aje? Ai, pesa kama hizo. I'm like, what are these people talking about? And they say to me, you see, like me, I've been here because I don't have bail for 5,000 shillings. That's lunch. Me, I'm here because I don't have 3,000 bob.
That's credit for
These
one
people,
day.
what are these people talking about? And you're here. So, and I'm like, and you can't pay it? Because if it was me, I could have paid it. They look at me, they're like, you'll be here for a couple of years. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, to get dates in court, by the time your court case is concluded, and of course, there's no way you're raising that bill unless you stole the money. I keep quiet, but I can't believe it, that they are here for these kinds of amounts. So what's going on in my mind?
So wait, these guys planned this thing so well. They planned for the media, like it was well orchestrated. Like they started planting the narrative in the consumer's mind that you're guilty even before anything.
I remember a colleague, a former colleague, calling one of the colleagues who was at the court and telling them not to be near me. There will be media. But at that time, because of everything that's happening, do you know that sentence just passed me? Later is when I added 1 and 1. They even had organized for the media. So the narrative had to flow. So I was adding pieces backwards now. Because when it's happening to you,
They use the distress as their weapon.
yeah,
And your confusion.
you cannot make the right decisions in such a distressed, in a traumatic, when your mind, you need a sober environment to make a good
You
decision.
need that silence.
You know? So I was soon given the prison uniform as we wait. It was late in the evening, so my parents were not allowed to see me on that day. So they came the following day. Do you know that's when now I got a lawyer? I didn't have a lawyer all this time. So I get a lawyer while I'm in remand. So now my parents are running up and down. They have stopped everything. My siblings dropped out of school to come and support. They're not in uni now. They're here helping with this case. Everything is at a standstill to try and save their sister or their daughter. The lawyers come, my family come, and there are all these rules and regulations in prisons. I mean, it's not a party place. This is prison. If you think you're going to be sitting, I don't know. Woo! Anyway, the lawyer opens the file and begins very quickly to do whatever needs to be done. They're in court, getting a date even to pay for that bail.
You can't just go any day?
No, there are rhythms of bail payment. You need to go to the registry, get the file. There's order, so it's not like you will go, get the file and just pay. You know, there's a process. It took 4 days before they paid that bail.
And in those 4 days, what's happening with your mind? Because now are you aware I've been set up square?
Not yet.
Or you're just like, I need to get out of here?
Yes. It's still not sunk. It's a setup. It's still at the point of, and this is the level that your mind absorbs betrayal. I think the heart cushions betrayal. And it went accepting the level of betrayal as I got deeper into it.
Wow.
At this level, my heart can only fathom betrayal to the point of the arresting officer, and the people I don't know.
Yeah.
The people I know, my heart cannot yet deal with the fact that they too have betrayed me. I can't deal with the heart. I think it cushions you because that level of betrayal is so deep. Also, you're refusing to see it. You're refusing to see that these strangers could not have betrayed you without the permission and information from the people who know you.
You know, my mind has not even gone there until now you've said it.
Exactly.
So what more you?
Exactly. That the closest to the closest is the one who betrayed you. But how did a stranger get the information if not the closest to you who gave it to them? So at the point of remand, for me, it's these arresting officers, prosecution, and this system. But where did they get the information from?
Yeah. You know, that one has just smacked me now. I can't even believe what you felt.
The betrayal.
Me, in fact, I'm just like, you must just be feeling like a misfit. What am I doing here?
Exactly.
Like this is not for me.
The lies, the bed bugs, the indecent way of lifestyle. No way. Plus, I have now the newspaper that has reported my story. Bank manager thief. I was on the headlines. Front page of the newspaper.
Yeah.
You're looking at the news and you're reading yourself. I'm even looking, I'm like, they've exaggerated the amounts because they had said something like 20 million. They have exaggerated the amount even that was involved in this transaction. And I go home with my newspaper.
So your bail is paid. You're there for like four nights.
Once the bail is paid, my family comes for me and I get a call from my employer.
Ah, my God.
When it rains, it really pours. To go and sign my termination letter. Because at that high level of banking, with all that limelight in the media, and they were like, when it's cleared, we can reconsider, but for now, we can't have you. So from remand, signed my termination letter, did my exit, my everything cleared.
That day?
That very day.
That second, we were not having you come in again tomorrow.
Cleared everything, signed everything I needed to sign. Cleared my locker.
The guy's looking at you.
Of course. All your colleagues are looking. Some of your clients are even at the bank, but they can't handle you. They've been told. They know anyway. They don't need to be told. Yeah. They've seen the news. They've seen the newspaper. You're on the front page, headlines. So I clear and I go to my house and my landlord, Teresa, what happened? Because they also saw the news and they're like, this is our tenant. And I'm like, yeah, it has happened. And I have been terminated from work. Actually, that's where I'm from. He didn't even wait for me to finish. He just told me, do what you need to do. Take care of yourself. I'm here. You never forget the people who come through for you. He did not care about his rent. That was not his go-to. He cared that I'm okay. And he said, whatever discussion you want to have, I'm here. And then the few friends who came to now ask how they could be of help. And one of the former clients who had a security business called me. And he just said, I'd like to have lunch with you. And because those days, either if I'm not in court, answering to the mention or answering to the case, then I'm at my lawyer's office or trying to put my evidence together. Like my life revolved around that.
Now, how long does that take?
Every month you're in court.
Wow.
It's a full-time job. Because if you're not appearing to answer to the case, you've got mentions. So you appear in court, you're called, the mention is done.
What's a mention?
A mention is a date that keeps the case going and also assures that the person out on bail
Hasn't left the country.
Yes, that's what it serves that purpose. And if you're late or you don't show up, so your life, you're out on bail, but it's like you're imprisoned because your life literally revolves around the courts. So this client calls me, a former client now calls me and says to me when I meet him, I heard your story, I heard everything that happened. At this time, no one is talking to you. That long list that you had, you almost had as many cell phones as possible, including the landlines, because of how people are calling you. You're on high demand. Now, it's gone. Dead. Silent. Nobody is calling you. No one is checking on you. And that is why I say I don't regret when things were working well for me, having paid it forward to my family. Sometimes when things are working so well for us, we forget the very close people, our family, our siblings, our people. And you get attracted to the people you're now doing life with out there, not knowing that the people who really have your back
Are these ones?
are these people. But because you're spending so much time with these people you're succeeding with, they're only with you because of your status, because of what you can give, because of who you are. As soon as that comes down, that's when you truly get to know who is who. And let me tell you, these people, because they saw you when you were, they know you in and out. So, this doesn't shock them.
They have no shadow of a doubt you didn't do it.
Exactly. They don't doubt you. But everyone else, they don't want to be associated with you because of how that reputation could rub on them. Also, of what value are you now? What's
You are your
status?
office. You are not your position at the bank.
That's what people forget.
Your identity had nothing to do with that.
Exactly. That's an office. You're not your title. You are you. And most people lose themselves and get stuck on the title and do not know how to identify themselves outside of that title. And when the title is taken away, they can't even deal with themselves.
But you're 29, so you're learning this. And it's not like there's training for this.
Exactly. This is the deep end of deep ends.
Let me ask, how don't you fall off the cliff?
With all the stress that's going on, my family.
The same people.
The same people. What my dad is saying to me.
What's your dad saying?
He was very disappointed, of course, by the turn of events, but he assured me, I'm here with you and we're going to fight this with you. He was like he rolled his sleeves. This was his case. From the time of getting that lawyer to those mentions, and he really supported me. He did not even for a minute say, pack your things and come back home because this has happened. No, I'm going to support you as much as I can until we figure out the next steps. He was there. And at that particular time, he kept telling me, truth does not need defending.
Wow.
It will keep rising up. Truth does not need defending. And he kept saying, don't tamper with the truth. Don't try to change anything to try to protect yourself. Maintain your truth.
Wow.
Maintain your truth through and through. Don't get tempted to twist the truth. Stick with your truth. And not for a minute did they doubt or say, or might you, not for a second to date did that ever cross anywhere. And when I met this client, he offered me a sales job at his security firm. Not just a sales job. He gave me an entire department. Not just a department. It was East Africa.
What?
I was in charge of Uganda.
Hold on, you two first of all, that's insane.
And I have a court case going on. And my court days, he would allow me. I would tell him, today I'm not available because today I have court. And I would go to court.
What?
In charge of East Africa. That is what sustained me throughout my court time.
Wow.
He said to me, I have seen you work, I have seen you, I have seen you, Teresa. You have served me all this through and through. Like he would move with me banks. And he said to me, I don't know how this case is going to go, but I'm offering you this position. I signed the letter. I took the job, offered the car, offered even the driver. Like it was not just an employment. It even had benefits. That is God for you.
Yeah.
God for you.
What?
Yes. There are people in this world who don't judge you based off what they are hearsay. They judge you because of what they have seen. And he trusted me with an entire department, with an entire team. I represented him in Uganda. I mean, I could travel all over the country, out of the country, and we did so well. And I was still doing the court case.
And now, I just want to understand this. Are you getting the looks?
Of course. The looks. You're being talked about in all circles that know you. Not just me, my own mom going to the market, because they go to the market Tuesday and Fridays in Kiambu. The looks, the talks, her daughter. So it's not just affecting me, it's also affecting our family. What people are saying. Even extended family members are now talking. Have you heard what has happened to Wanjiku? What happened? Yeah, she stole money. She's a thief. Your own family members. You're seeing yourself as a meme. I was a meme, Mulika Mwizi. And a meme has been created, Mulika Mwizi, And do you know who is the mwizi?
It's you.
And they are forwarding. These are your former colleagues, people you've worked with, forwarding that meme. And it's you. It was tough.
So how do you go get clients when you're at this position?
I'm so grateful because a lot of the clients, and I still dealt with some of the clients from the bank, but who trusted that I didn't commit this. But a huge majority turned their back. And I understand, maybe it's the fear, maybe it's you don't want to get association, your reputation, you want to guard it. But you know, Richie, it's very unfortunate that we never want anything to do with the broken people. And that's when someone truly needs you. But as long as someone is broken in whichever form, whichever way, whether it's addiction, whether it's whatever form of brokenness, no one wants to touch you. You want someone who is whole and doing well. So what that did for me, it helped me sieve people in my life naturally, because anyone who didn't want anything to do with me fell off at that time. I moved forward with very few people, very few. And those people, to this date, are my people. So I was dealing with a few of my former clients, but I opened a whole new world in the security sector of meeting very different people.
And your reputation didn't affect that?
And some of them knew, some of them didn't know, and it didn't affect.
Okay.
It did not affect.
Yeah, that's actually what I was wondering. The security world, were you tainted?
As much as I was, because this information was in the public domain, it didn't affect. They looked at what I was delivering. And even my team knew. My team knew. And I was honest. Yeah, that's what happened when I was in the banking world. And yes, I normally go to court to answer to that. So the team knew. Again, back to how my parents had brought me up. I didn't know how to mask or hide anything. This is the truth. It's the truth. So I won't come to you and try to pretend I have a court case. That's what it's like. And during these 2.5 years is when I met Njoroge. And it was so shocking because I was explaining I have a court case. Njoroge's mom met me at the bank. The person I knew was Njoroge's mom. And the mom was wondering, why have you disappeared? And she followed up and she followed up. At one point I gave in and I was like, I'm going to meet her and I'm going to tell her the truth. I carried the newspaper. This at least will keep her off once and for all. And so I meet her and I tell her, oh, I actually left the banking sector. That's why I'm no longer there. And she had just come into the country from the US after being away for 3 decades, 30 years. She had gone in the 70s to study.